Hello learners, welcome back to my channel Shraddha's Physics. Here we are continuing our lecture with the operational amplifier, that is the application of the op-amp. In this part we will see the wind bridge oscillator. So let us start with the wind bridge oscillator. It is a standard oscillator circuit for all the frequencies in the range of 10 Hz to 1 MHz. So here basically in this figure you can see it consists of, that is this wind bridge oscillator, it consists of an operational amplifier. This is the operational amplifier, one having inverting terminal and another having the non-inverting terminal, and it consists of the RC bridge circuit. And the bridge circuit, it has arms, that is in one arm it is R1 resistor is connected, and here the R2 resistor is here, and here the RC, that is the resistor and capacitor, they are in series connection, and here the resistor and the capacitor, they are in the parallel combination. And this RC bridge acts as a feedback network in the wind bridge oscillator. And also you should note that if the bridge is in the balanced state, okay, if this bridge it is in the balanced state, then the differential voltage, that is for this op-amp, if you will consider this voltage across the non-inverting terminal is V1 and for the inverting terminal it is suppose V2, then the differential voltage Vd will be equal to V1 minus V2. When this bridge is in balanced condition, then the differential input voltage will be 0. But for the sustained oscillation, Vd should not be 0. So we can say that the bridge is slightly unbalanced by adjusting the ratio between the resistances R1 and R2. Okay. So now you can see here, if we want to unbalance this RC bridge circuit, then simply we have to adjust the ratio between these resistors R1 and R2. And the bridge doesn't produce any phase shift between its input and output voltages. So the operational amplifier should not produce any phase shift between the input and output voltages. So the net phase shift around the closed loop will be 0. So you can see here the equivalent diagram. So here this one is your operational amplifier, and here the R1 resistor is present, and here one is the R2 resistor. Here the RC in the series combination, and here the R and C, that is the resistor and capacitor, are in the parallel combination, and this one is the output voltage. Since in this diagram you can see here the inverting terminal is grounded, so here the inverting terminal is grounded, and across this non-inverting terminal the signal is given. So this type of op-amp, it is called the non-inverting op-amp. So let me write as it is a non-inverting op-amp, as it is a non-inverting op-amp, that is operational amplifier. So the closed loop voltage gain is, the closed loop voltage gain is A equal to, for the non-inverting this is equal to 1 plus R1 by R2, 1 plus R1 by R2, okay. And also since the output voltage, this is equal to the voltage gain into the input voltage, because the voltage gain equal to output voltage divided by input voltage. So here we can write the output voltage equal to A into input voltage, or that is equal to A into, let me write, this is your V1, because this is a non-inverting terminal and across the non-inverting terminal we are given the voltage V1, or this can be written as equal to A value equal to 1 plus R1 by R2. If I will substitute this value, then this is equal to, or if I will write V1, that is equal to V0 divided by A. Okay, so V1 can be written as VO divided by A, or if I will put the value of A, then this is equal to VO divided by, that is V output, divided by 1 plus R1 by R2 can be written as R1 plus R2 divided by R2. If I will take the LCM, I will get R1 plus R2 divided by R2, okay. Or simply we can write, or this will be V1 will be equal to R2 divided by R1 plus R2 whole into VO. This is the voltage across the non-inverting terminal. Okay, V1 will be equal to this much. Now our aim is to calculate the value of R1 and R2. Okay, if we will consider the bridge is balanced, if the bridge is balanced, if the bridge is balanced, then we can write the R1 divided by R2, that is equal to, you can see here, if this is in balanced condition, then this R1 divided by R2, that will be equal to this R plus C, that is your R plus 1 by j omega C, and here this is your parallel combination, that is 1 by R plus 1 by j omega C, that will be equal to 1 by R prime. This is the equivalent, or simply we can write R prime will be equal to R into j omega C divided by R plus 1 by j omega C. Now if the bridge is balanced, then R1 by R2 equal to, for the series combination I will write R plus 1 by j omega C, and divided by, for the parallel combination I will directly write R into 1 by j omega C divided by R plus 1 by j omega C. Okay, I can write like this, or this is simply equal to R plus 1 by j omega C whole square. This R plus 1 by j omega C, and here also R plus 1 by j omega C. So this whole square divided by R by j omega C. R into 1 by j omega C means R by j omega C, or this is simply can be written as R1 by R2 equal to, or R1 by R2, that is equal to R square minus, you know, j equal to, here root over of minus 1. So here this R square minus a plus b whole square, this is in the form of a plus b whole square, that is R square minus 1 by omega square c square, because j square will be minus 1, plus 2r divided by j omega c whole divided by, this will be r by j omega c. Again this can be written as equal to this r by j omega c, this r by j omega c term get cancelled, this will be 2 plus, for this 2 term, that is r square minus 1 by omega square c square, if I write first r square minus, this is 1 by omega square c square term is here, and this j omega c term will be multiplied here. So let me write j into omega c whole divided by, for this r term, so I will write this. So here we have separated the real part as well as the imaginary part. This is suppose the equation number 2. So now if we will equate the real part, that is here R1 by R2 equal to this much. Now if I will equate the real part, then this R1 by R2 will be equal to simply 2. So here equating the real part, we will get R1 by R2, that is equal to 2, or simply one resistor will be twice of the other, twice of R2. This is suppose equation number 3. Now if I will equate the imaginary part, so imaginary part will be equal to 0, imaginary part equal to 0, or we can write from this equation 2, I can write r square minus 1 by omega square c square whole into, this is omega square, okay, whole into omega c divided by r, that is equal to 0. Or from this expression we can write, since r square minus 1 by omega square c square whole into omega c by r, that is equal to 0, simply we can consider this bracket term will be equal to 0, or we can write r square will be equal to 1 by omega square into c square, or omega will be equal to 1 by rc. Taking the square root, we will get omega will be equal to 1 by RC. This is suppose equation number 4. Since the omega equal to 1 by RC, therefore the frequency of oscillation we can write nu equal to omega by 2 pi, or we can write nu will be equal to, omega equal to 1 by RC. So if I will put that value, that will be 1 by 2 pi RC. This is suppose equation number 5. Now you can see in this expression we have calculated V1 value equal to this one. This is your equation 1. Now we have calculated the value of R1 equal to twice of R2 in this equation 3. Now if I will put this equation 3 in equation 1, then putting equation 3 in equation 1 we will get V1 equal to R2 divided by, our original equation is R2 divided by R1 plus R2 whole into VO. Now this will becomes equal to R2 divided by, in place of R1 if I will write 2R2, so this will be 2R2 plus R2 whole into VO, or simply we can write V1 will be equal to, R2 divided by 3R2, so that is 1 by 3 into VO. So we know from that, here you can see in this figure, here the inverting terminal is grounded. So at this terminal the voltage is 0. If I will put for the ideal case this Vd equal to V1 minus V2 and this Vd value equal to 0, since this differential voltage equal to 0 and V1 equal to 0, so definitely V2 value will be equal to, since this Vd equal to 0, we can consider this V1 equal to V2. When we will consider the differential voltage is 0, that is V1 equal to V2, so by applying the virtual ground concept in this expression also we can write, since this V1 equal to 1 by 3 of V0, so we can write also V2 will be equal to VO by 3, or this equation can be written as V1 by VO equal to 1 by 3, and also this equation can be written as V2 by VO equal to 1 by 3. Okay, this is your equation number 6 suppose. But if I will consider for the sustained oscillation, then Vd is not equal to 0, since we are considering here, since Vd is not equal to 0, that is for the Vd is not equal to 0 for sustained oscillation, then V1 minus V2, that is also not equal to 0. That is the value here that we have calculated, R2 by R1 plus R2, that is equal to, here in this part if I will calculate the value, this is your R2 divided by 2R2 plus R2, that will be 1 by 3 of VO. 1 by 3 of VO, that is the output voltage. But here if I will consider for the sustained oscillation, since V1 minus V2 is not equal to 0, therefore we can write this R2 divided by R1 plus R2, this should be less than 1 by 3. Okay, or if I will consider, let us take, let R2 by R1 plus R2, this value is equal to 1 by 3 minus 1 by delta. Okay, so this is suppose equation number 7, and here this delta is where delta value is greater than 3. So under this condition, the bridge is unbalanced. The bridge is slightly unbalanced. The bridge is, so here we have considered the very small term, that is delta. So the bridge is slightly unbalanced and provides a feedback voltage feedback voltage. So now we can see here in the equation 6, this V2 by VO, that will be equal to 1 by 3 minus 1 by delta. So now here let me write. So V2 by VO, that is equal to 1 by 3 minus 1 by delta. So the feedback voltage will be, so the feedback voltage will be equal to Vd, that is V1 minus V2, that is the differential voltage, you can say Vd equal to V1 minus V2, or this can be written as Vd divided by, if I will divide VO, then this is equal to V1 by VO minus this VO minus V2 divided by VO. Okay, now if I will put the value here, or this can be written as Vd equal to, so if I will multiply VO here, so this will be V1 by VO will be equal to 1 by 3 minus V2 by VO will be minus 1 by 3 minus 1 by delta. Let me write like this, whole into VO is present here, that is Vd by VO, so VO is taken to the right hand side, or this can be written as Vd will be equal to this 1 by 3 get cancelled, minus minus plus, so this will be VO divided by delta. Okay, this is the value of Vd, that is VO by delta. So here you can see this Vd and VO, they are in the same phase. So therefore Vd and VO are in same phase, and here the feedback fraction is beta equal to Vd by VO. So beta equal to Vd by VO, or we can write beta will be equal to 1 by delta. So from this above expression you can see Vd by VO will be equal to 1 by delta. Now according to the Barkhausen criterion, for the sustained oscillation, we know A beta equal to 1. A is the voltage gain and beta is the feedback fraction. A equal to here open loop voltage gain, open loop gain of op-amp, Okay, so for that case we can see A will be delta, because beta equal to 1 by delta, or we can write A will be equal to delta, that is the voltage gain equal to delta. So now let us see what are the advantages of the wind bridge oscillator. It produces pure sine wave output. It provides good frequency stability. The frequency of oscillation, it can be varied by using variable capacitor, and the disadvantages are it requires a large number of components and it cannot generate very high frequencies. So this is all about the wind bridge oscillator. Okay, thank you all.